What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country in Washington, D.C. Money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check update, and everything you need to know about on a daily basis. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button right now. It's completely free to do so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you find these videos helpful, thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. You guys are amazing. We got a lot to talk about here today, so let's jump right in. Also in this video, we're going to talk about two $600 checks that are going to be going out in this video, so make sure to watch all the way to the end. Dr. Fauci says the pandemic could be ending soon. However, in other parts of the world, the pandemic is actually spiking up. Yeah. Very interesting here. As you can see here, the trend has come down significantly here in the US. You can see this curve here. It's come down significantly. The 7-day average is now 172,951. Okay, so 172,000 is the 7-day average of new people testing positive every single day. Okay, so that's the 7-day average. However, new deaths are still very high, near an all-time high. You can see the graph here. The 7-day average is at 2,424 new people per day here. You can see that is still near an all-time high. So very, very high there. You can see the graph trend here. So very, very high there. Still significantly high, but new cases are coming down. The question here is, will we see another wave here as cases are coming down? Also, some experts say cases are coming down because of the millions of at-home tests that the government just sent out. And millions of people are using those free at-home test kits instead of maybe rushing out to go to official testing sites. And the official testing sites are where those numbers come from with the positive tests. And a lot of people are using the at-home tests. But we are seeing across the world new cases spiking in different parts of the world right now. Hong Kong, their leader says that they have a new wave. Their fifth COVID wave has now overwhelmed their city's capacity. Yeah. In Hong Kong today, they're saying that they're being overwhelmed by an onslaught of new infections. Although deaths in the Chinese-controlled global financial hub remain far less than similar-sized cities since the pandemic erupted 2 years ago, daily infections have multiplied 13 times over the past 2 weeks in Hong Kong. Quote, the onslaught of the fifth wave of the pandemic or the epidemic has dealt a heavy blow to Hong Kong and has overwhelmed the city's capacity of handling. Also, the Omicron new variant, the BA.2, which is more contagious and originated in South Africa and then spread to the US, that is the now dominant variant in South Africa. Experts are saying that that new variant accounts for 100% of new virus cases in South Africa. So the Omicron original variant, which exploded here in the US and originally started in South Africa, is apparently no longer even in South Africa anymore. This new variant, the BA.2, as you can see here in this headline, is now overtaken it completely and is now the new variant BA.2. It accounts for 100% of all new cases in South Africa. Yeah, I know. And as you can see here, the new BA.2 is more infectious and more contagious than the original variant. Some studies have said it's apparently up to 150% more contagious. Yeah. So the question is, are we through the worst here in the US? Or are we going to do this whole huge spike again yet again and have millions of people testing positive again, and millions of people suffering through this again here in the near future. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. um, can we put this epidemic and the worst of it behind us, or at least for the time being, or is 2022 going to throw this at us again? Let me know your thoughts. What do you think is coming here? I'll keep you up to date here on the channel. Meanwhile, on stimulus, we got several different things going on here. Check out this debate here in the Senate between Republican Senator Mike Crapo from Idaho and Independent slash Democratic Senator Bernie Sanders here in the Senate. Check this out.
Is the kind of approach that we need to follow. Establishing a chief pharmaceutical negotiator to combat foreign freeloading, and ensuring the best trade deals that achieve American success in dealing with these price discrepancies that are driven by terrible behavior from our counterparts in other parts of the global economy. Strengthening our consumer-oriented oversight through our cost comparison tools and price transparency measures and robust reporting requirements in the drug supply chain. Facilitating value-based arrangements where private and public sector payers can pay based on patient outcomes, driving better results for patients. And restructuring payments for drugs administered in the doctor's office or hospital outpatient department to encourage physicians to deliver cost-effective treatment options where appropriate clinically. My point is there are a lot of solutions that can work within the consistent free market and private sector solutions that we have solved here and are working on to make them better. We have an opportunity to lower prescription drug costs without threatening access to therapies or cures, or the future of handling of giving an advantage, frankly, to our global rivals like the Chinese. With a bipartisan and bicameral effort undertaken through regular order, we could make a major impact on these issues. This legislation, unfortunately, does no such thing. It is thoroughly unvetted, showing no signs of technical assistance or practical feasibility, has not, as I said, received a CBO score or even an informal analysis or a committee hearing. It did not advance through regular process in the Senate. Mr. Chairman, or Madam, or Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, I see that our time is running out, and so I will end my comments at this point, but just ask my colleagues to let us engage in regular order in the Finance Committee in the Senate and work these issues through. There are a lot of ideas on the table. Let's work them through rather than try to cram through one side's idea on the very day the bill was introduced in the Senate. I object.
I ask unanimous consent.
The objection is heard. The senator from Vermont.
For 2 minutes. I say to my friend from Idaho, we've been going through regular order dealing with prescription drugs for 40 years. Hasn't quite worked. Your bill has gone nowhere. My bill has gone nowhere. If you got objections to what Senator Klobuchar and I are doing, let's debate them on the floor of the Senate. We've heard all the talking points from you that the pharmaceutical industry wrote. I got that. They spend a lot of money writing these talking points. Let's have that debate right here. The bill that Senator Klobuchar and I are proposing is supported by over 80% of the American people, and I dare say a vast majority of the people of Idaho. If you want to oppose it, go for it. Let's have the damn debate right here on the floor. And if it takes 1 week, great. Takes 2 weeks, great. You will agree with me that this is an issue that the American people care about. So I would hope that you would reconsider. Let's bring the floor to the House, offer your amendments, let's have the debate.
Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here. And clearly these politicians, regardless of what side you're on, it really doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, Independent, they need to figure out a way to lower prescription drug pricing. Mark Cuban, the billionaire entrepreneur from Shark Tank, actually, I covered this once before. I'm not sponsored by him or anything like that, but he actually came up with an interesting new business, per se. And I'll cover it again here. And again, I'm not sponsored by him or this website or anything. His website is, and again, I'm just covering this because it could help many people. I mean, again, I have hundreds of thousands of people that watch our channel here every day. Their website is cost plus drugs.com. And here it is. And this website has been covered by Forbes and all sorts of different publications and could save people a lot of money. And when you look at this website here, they are literally just offering prescription drugs for just like 90% less than most places offer. And it's simply just because Mark Cuban is a billionaire, from what I understand, from what I've read, and they're just offering a much lower price on it. So they're taking like an average of like a 15% markup instead of like a 300 to 1000% markup, simply because he can afford it, from what I understand. So when you look at some of these kind of prescriptions here, I don't even want to try to pronounce some of these. Yeah, they look like a nightmare. A generic for Gleevec, I'll say the generic version here. The retail price on this is $2,502. They're selling it for $17. Generic for Albenza is $437. They're selling it for $33. Now, I do remember that the one catch here, though, is that they don't accept insurance. But I do remember them saying here is that their prices are lower than insurance's copays. You can get lisinopril. I used to take lisinopril. Now my blood pressure is actually right on par. I don't even need to. I only took 5 milligrams. I don't even need to take lisinopril anymore. But you can get lisinopril for $3.60. They have all sorts of different brands here, and sertraline, generic for Zoloft, all these different things here. And my suggestion would be is if you take a expensive medication, they have, you can see Mark Cuban's picture here. The website is costplusdrugs.com. Just go on the website here and just check it out and just see if it's cheaper. Just see if it's cheaper. If it's not cheaper, don't buy it. Obviously, just use common sense here. But if for some reason it's cheaper, then it obviously might be worth it for you. So, yeah, obviously you have to just use common sense here, and you can see all these different medications they cover here. You would have to look into how it works. You probably have to send your prescription or something like that. I haven't ordered anything from them yet or anything like that. But I just know that this is a huge thing that was in the media, and they have dozens and dozens of prescriptions here that could literally save you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And it's interesting what a billionaire can do. Meanwhile, politicians are trying to force pharmaceutical companies to lower their prices. So that's kind of one avenue. And I think that eventually they're going to do it, whether the Democrats do it on their own through the reconciliation process, or Republicans and Democrats come to a bipartisan agreement and do it. So there's several ways to quote skin a cat, which is not the best analogy, especially with me being an owner of cats. There's several ways to get the job done, right? One would be forcing pharmaceutical companies to lower their costs or lower their prices by law, which is what the politicians are trying to do, right? And another way would be a billionaire steps in, like Mark Cuban, and tries to literally help out the people. That's what I would do if I was a billionaire. If you guys have been watching my show, I'm here advocating for you guys every single day, advocating for seniors, advocating for children, advocating for people on low income, advocating for everybody, right? Everybody that needs help, I'm here advocating for people on student loans, advocating for people on SNAP, advocating for people on disabilities. Literally anybody that needs help, I feel like during this pandemic, they should get help. I don't really even choose and say, oh, this group should get help, but this group shouldn't. That's just not my motto. I really feel that anybody that gets help right now that needs it during this pandemic, I I'm very thankful for all these different groups and all these different states and all these different anybody getting help right now. I'm very thankful for everybody that's getting help, and that's just kind of it's just kind of it just makes me feel good. It makes me feel good telling everybody about these programs. It makes me feel good for being a voice of this community, and I hope that I can spread a little bit of that too. Sometimes I see people saying, "Oh, I wish that this group wasn't getting help." I wish I didn't see comments like that. I get it that it's some people are like, "Oh, we need help," but I wish that there wasn't negativity about saying, "Oh, don't help that group, only help us." We gotta stick together. We gotta hope that everybody gets help, or we gotta hope that it shouldn't be like, don't help that group, help us. It should be help that group and help us. We gotta all stick together here because we're all family here, honestly. And that's what we should be telling the politicians, is that we all need help right now during this pandemic. Yeah, you can let me know your thoughts here, but it's interesting how a billionaire can step in and do things that Congress maybe can't do per se, because, well, unless the government gets in the business of selling pharmaceuticals, I'm not sure if we want them to do that, right? But Mark Cuban, I don't know. Again, check it out. Again, don't necessarily order from them if it costs you more, because again, I think that they don't take insurance. But if it's lower than the cost of buying it through your insurance, it might be worth something, or it might be worth doing. Also, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi responded to Joe Manchin yesterday and said, quote, "It's not right for Joe Manchin to say what we're doing is contributing to inflation." Yeah, check this out. Here's what she had to say.
Fact is that clearly he has, look, Joe Manchin, as you said, is a senator who counts. Every senator counts. And we have legislation that is so transformative for our country. When you see what President Biden has done in this year, whether it's the rescue package that has put money in people's pockets, taken people off of poverty, vaccines in their arms and the rest. You know that.
Yes, but people aren't feeling it right now.
No, I
They're
understand
upset.
that. No, I understand that. But there has to be a cumulative effect. A cumulative effect. And part of the consequences of all of that investment in the infrastructure bill and the rest is that more people have jobs, and therefore inflation goes up. When I first went to Congress, you were there working for Dick Gephardt.
And Dick Gephardt,
Yeah,
yes.
go way back. I went to my first meeting where the head of the Fed came in to talk about inflation and unemployment. That was a requirement that the chairman report to Congress on that. And the first thing Chairman Greenspan said was, unemployment is dangerously low. Well, if you're just measuring it by inflation. But the fact is that the rise in employment, and President Biden, nearly 7 million jobs in his year in office. So yes, we have inflation. It's very important for us to address it. We must bring it down. But it's not right, with all the respect in the world for my friend Joe Manchin, it's not right to say that what we are doing is contributing to inflation, because it is exactly the opposite.
Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here. Meanwhile, they are working on a new version of Build Back Better, which is going to be Build Back Better new name, a new name version of Build Back Better, and I'll keep you up to date here on that. Senator Joe Manchin says he's on board with this new version of Build Back Better, and what is going to be in it, well, I'll keep you up to date here on that as well. Also, as you can see here, new stimulus checks worth up to $600 are coming to 2 workforces in 2022. See if you'll receive the payment. That's right. Stimulus checks worth up to $600 will be issued to certain workers in certain U.S. industries in the coming months. The money comes from $700 million in federal relief funds. It's almost $1 billion that aim to pay back eligible workers for expenses tied to the pandemic. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, the USDA, set aside funds to compensate workers who took on unexpected costs, including purchasing their own protective gear and taking unpaid leave. A deadline for organizations to apply to distribute the funds is looming, which will bring workers one step closer to getting the cash. $600 checks. Workers who helped keep Americans fed during the pandemic may be eligible for money through the Farm and Food Workers Relief Grant. Around $665 million was set aside for farm and meat packers who paid out of pocket to prepare for and prevent exposures to and respond to the pandemic, according to the USDA. Expenses could include money paid for personal protective equipment, childcare, and virus testing. The grant money will be given to state agencies, tribal entities, and nonprofit organizations that offer services to these industries. The organizations originally had until February 8th to apply for this money, with stimulus checks worth up to $600 expected to be issued to workers later this year. But the USDA announced a deadline extension in January, which gives the entities now until March 10th to apply. The second $600 stimulus check goes out to grocery store workers. Americans who worked in grocery store workers as the pandemic raged on could also see the payments. The USDA set aside $20 million to support some grocery store workers' employees as part of the grant program, though the amount they could see still remains unclear. The agency said the funds for grocery store workers aim to recognize their essential roles as offset costs incurred. The IRS won't be handling the payments for these employees. They can instead expect to see the checks come from state agencies, nonprofit organizations, and their local governments. And we have dozens of states that are announcing stimulus checks and stimulus type programs here. If you've been watching my show, almost on a daily basis, I have new state programs announcing new money and new types of program here. Anywhere from $350 checks to like $1,200 checks almost every single day. So I'll keep you up to date here on everything going on here in our chat or on our YouTube channel and everything going on here in our country. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click subscribe right now. It's completely free to do so you don't miss out on new videos. After clicking the subscribe button, then click the bell icon next to the subscribe button so you get reminders on your device when we go live with new videos. This is every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember those times and don't miss out on any new videos. You can click here to watch my newest video next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.